It's amazing you can manage wearing that outfit. I wouldn't do that if I were you, but it's your choice, obviously. Those are examples of passive-aggressive sentences that we use sometimes without consciously knowing that we do. This type of communication has an impact on the people you talk to, and using it also creates an impact on yourself. In this video, we are going to uncover what passive-aggressive communication is, why we do it, how it impacts us and others, and how we can shift both our mindset and words for more positive interactions. I would watch this video if I were you, but it's up to you. Hey, my name is Greg. I'm a master coach helping people, teams, and organizations to know themselves, design their future self, and become their future selves. I'm here to help you live a life where you have control. Simply put, passive-aggressive communication is a way of expressing negative feelings, criticism, or even resentment indirectly instead of stating them openly. It's the art of cloaking your disdain with a veil of superficial politeness that often leaves the recipient confused, hurt, or angry without a clear reason to confront the speaker. Imagine you are in a work meeting and you propose an idea, something that you really think is good. A colleague replies, "Yeah, that's great if you want to do it the hard way." On the surface, it sounds like a joke or light-hearted comment, but the underlying message is critical and undermining. That's passive-aggressiveness in action. There is a variety of passive-aggressive communication types. Sarcastic compliments. "Nice of you to join us today," said to someone who is slightly late. Veiled threats. "I wonder how long someone can keep their job if they keep doing that." Backhanded compliments. "I didn't expect you to get such a good score. Well done." Disguised criticism. "Most people would find that difficult, but I guess you're just more laid back." Procrastination or deliberate inefficiency. Saying, "I'll get to it when I can," in response to requests and taking an unusually long time to fulfill them. Withholding praise or acknowledgement. Watching someone struggle without offering help, then commenting, "You look like you had it under control." Ambiguous or non-committal language. "I guess that might be one way of doing it," in response to a suggestion indicating doubt. Silent treatment or minimal response. Responding with short, non-engaging replies like, "Fine, whatever," or just a shrug. Sighs and subtle body language. Eye rolls or smirks that imply disdain or mockery without verbal confrontation. Fake concern or overly polite tone. That's an interesting choice. I would have gone a different way, but good luck. Think about a recent conversation where you might have used passive-aggressive communication. What were you actually trying to communicate, and why did you choose to express it indirectly? So why do people communicate in passive-aggressive ways? Firstly, neuroscience gives us an insight into our brain's response mechanisms. When people feel threatened, the brain's fight or flight system kicks in. For some, confrontation feels like too much of a threat, leading them to choose a less direct form of conflict, hence passive aggression. It's like setting a trap instead of facing the enemy head-on. Psychology, on the other hand, tells us that passive-aggressive behavior can stem from an inability or unwillingness to handle conflict directly. This could be due to past experiences where open expression of anger or dissatisfaction was met with negative consequences. If someone grew up in an environment where direct communication was discouraged or punished, they might learn to express themselves in indirect ways. Consider at work. If an employee feels powerless against a superior, they might resort to passive-aggressive tactics, like agreeing to deadlines they intend to miss. That's a way of expressing discontent without risking open conflict. Social conditioning also plays a role. In many cultures, direct confrontation is frowned upon. People are taught to maintain harmony and avoid disruption. That is particularly true in a number of Asian countries like Thailand. In such environments, passive aggression becomes a socially acceptable form of expressing displeasure or disagreement. In Thailand, it is said that people will express their emotions with 24 different smiles, even for negative emotions. You can imagine the confusion for Westerners seeing a Thai smile when both people have been involved in a traffic accident. But it's not just about avoiding confrontation. Personality traits like fear of rejection or low self-esteem can drive individuals toward passive aggressiveness. They might feel that it's safer to express anger indirectly rather than risking criticism or judgment by being direct. Much more about discovering your personality traits right here. Think about when someone leaves a note saying, please clean up in a shared kitchen rather than addressing the issue directly with their housemates. This indirect approach often results from a reluctance to face conflict face to face. Passive-aggressive communication is more than just frustrating or manipulative behavior. It's a complex response to a variety of psychological, social, and emotional challenges. So, reflect on your upbringing or early social environments, like school, etc. In what ways might these settings have shaped your tendency towards passive-aggressive behavior? You like this video so far? Then you know what to do. Also, subscribe to the channel and put the notifications on if you want to receive content like this every week. And check out in the video description other YouTube videos and links to the concept of passive aggressiveness. The impact of passive aggressive behavior can be like a slow poison, subtly but steadily eroding the trust and clarity that we need for healthy relationships. Whether in personal connections, professional settings, or even casual interaction, the consequences are very far-reaching. First, consider the impact on trust. When you can't be sure if someone's words align with their true feelings, trust naturally erodes as you question their integrity. For instance, a manager who says, "Trust you to finish this project," but then is micromanaging every step, is sending mixed signals that undermine trust. This inconsistency can create an atmosphere of insecurity and doubt. And if you want to learn much more about how to build trust, check this out. Next, let's talk about communication breakdown. Passive-aggressive communication clouds the real issues, making it hard for all parties to understand the problem, let alone solve it. Imagine a scenario where a partner says, "Do whatever you want," but the tone implies they won't be happy if you take them at their word. That can lead to confusion and unresolved conflicts as the real feelings and issues remain unaddressed. Furthermore, passive-aggressive behavior can lead to a negative emotional climate. This kind of communication often involves sarcasm, veiled insults, and subtle digs. Over time, these negative interactions can build up resentment and hostility. For example, continuous passive-aggressive remarks in a team can create a toxic work environment where people feel undervalued and disrespected. The impact on problem-solving and productivity at work is also very significant. When team members use passive-aggressive behavior, such as procrastination or intentional inefficiency, it disrupts the team's workflow, which then leads to very poor performance. This not only affects the immediate task, but can also stifle innovation and growth by creating an environment where open and honest feedback is stifled. To visualize these impacts, think of a garden, where instead of watering the plants, you sprinkle a little salt every day. While there may not be immediate effects, over time, the garden will struggle to thrive, much like relationships suffer under continuous passive-aggressive treatment. Can you identify a relationship in your life that has been affected by passive-aggressive communication? What specific impacts have you noticed, and how might clearer communication have altered the outcome? Now let's empower ourselves with the tools to change this pattern. Transforming your language from passive-aggressive to assertive is about clarity, honesty, and respect. It's about saying what you mean and meaning what you say in a way that respects both yourself and others. First, let's define assertive communication. This style is direct yet respectful. It doesn't aim to control others or submit to people's opinions. It balances expressing your own needs and preferences while considering those of others. For example, instead of saying, "Sure, I'll do it since no one else seems to care," which drips with passive aggression, try, "I can handle this task. In the future, I'd appreciate if we could distribute responsibilities more evenly." This is direct and expresses your feelings without the negative undertone. Here is how you can start transforming your language. First, identify passive-aggressive habits. Reflect on your communication patterns and note any passive-aggressive phrases or behaviors that you have within a day. Check your email. Those are written clues. Awareness is the first step to change. Use I statements. Instead of placing blame, speak from your perspective to describe how you feel and what you need. Change. It would be nice to be listened to sometimes. 2. I'm feeling that my suggestions are not acknowledged. Be clear with your needs and desires. Instead of hinting or expecting others to guess what you want, be direct about your needs. For instance, instead of saying, "It would be nice if someone helped me," say, "Could you help me with this task?" Address conflict head-on. When issues arise, tackle them directly and politely. Avoid using sarcastic or ambiguous remarks, which can perpetuate misunderstandings. Also practice active listening. Engage genuinely with others' words, which encourages directness and reduces the likelihood of misunderstanding that passive-aggressive communication thrives on. Keep a calm and even tone. Even when you're assertive, maintaining a calm demeanor helps keep the conversation constructive. So tell me, what is one passive-aggressive habit you recognize in yourself? And what assertive response could you practice using instead to communicate more openly and directly? Awareness of when you're passive-aggressive, understanding of why you do it, and how it impacts others. Then reframing your language. This is the way to a positive impact. Let me share a thought from Maya Angelou about changing the way we communicate. Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. If you found the topic of improving your language for a more positive impact interesting, then check out the video series about the power of words. Plenty more there to upgrade your language.